Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back. And if you're new, welcome aboard. Today we're going to be spilling some tea, talking about some secrets. I'm going to tell you a couple of kind of behind the scenes little secret things about the Jungle Cruise. So if you've been around for a little while, you know that I like to do Disney history and trivia videos. I did a really in-depth one about the Jungle Cruise where I did kind of tell you some of the behind the scenes things about the running of the ride. If you haven't seen that one, I will link it down in the description for you so that you can check that one out. But today I'm talking about some things that you really only know if you work at the Jungle Cruise. And I'm not sure that all of these things are still there. Let me preface that. It's been a long time since I worked there, let's be real. So some of these things may not still be there. But while I was there, these were a thing. First thing is not so much a secret, it's just kind of a in the know thing. Jungle Cruise skippers used to wear boots, like hiking boots. And when I was working there, we had switched over to just wearing black leather shoes. So we weren't as adventure-y looking at the time. But Jungle Cruise skippers used to wear hiking boots as part of their costume. And there was a tradition that when you finish with your program or with your employment, if you were full-time, if you were leaving the Jungle Cruise to go on to bigger and better things, I'm not sure what's bigger or better than the Jungle Cruise, but I guess some people wanted to do something else. Can't imagine, but when you were leaving the Jungle Cruise, you would leave your boots. That was a thing that skippers would do. And it wasn't an official thing, so Disney didn't want trash, just thrown into the attraction. So skippers tried to hide them in such a way that they would not be taken and gotten rid of. It started off with just throwing the boots into a tree or something like that. And then obviously we're going to get the boots out of the tree and we're going to dispose of those. They don't need to be hanging from trees. So skippers got creative. If you see any boots in the camp, there were a couple pairs at the camp with the gorillas. Those were skipper boots. Obviously I wasn't there when they were put there. I don't know. But the lore was that those were not placed there by Disney. Those were put there by skippers, and Disney just kind of left them because okay, that fits with the theming. That's okay. But people did also try to hide them in ways that Disney may not see them and let it ride. There was one pair, I saw it with my own eyeballs. They spray painted them gold and put them in the temple. So it wasn't super visible to guests. They were kind of back there. They had just been spray painted gold and they kind of blended in. It's really dark in the temple, but it kind of blended in with the rest of the gold and the jewels and the monkeys and everything. And you didn't really see the boots back there. When I was leaving, we didn't wear boots, but I wanted to leave a little something myself. I wanted to kind of continue this tradition, and I didn't get to do it, but hang on. I had this set of costume, Mardi Gras kind of beads. That's a very pleasing sound. ASMR, anyone? I don't know why I had this with me in Florida. I guess I took Mardi Gras beads with me just for fun. I've always been who I am. I like to dress up. So I had these with me. I put them in my bag and took them to the jungle with me. They were in the break room, and I was like, if I get a chance, I'm gonna sneak into the temple and I'm gonna leave these as my my send-off thing. I didn't get to do it. I was very afraid of getting in trouble. Disney, please rehire me. I didn't do it. I didn't break anything. I didn't break any rules. I didn't do anything wrong. They're right here. See, I didn't leave them. So I didn't actually get to leave these. I wanted to. There's a door in the temple because that's the evac spot. If you need to evacuate the boats for any reason, there's a cleat in there that you can tie off the boats and you can evacuate through one of the there's a door hidden in the temple. So I was gonna wait outside there until boats went through. I'm not gonna just open the door and be like, hey y'all, I'm leaving these. So I didn't ever get up the gumption to actually go and wait behind the door to listen for a boat to go by and then drop them off. I didn't ever actually do it. So I still have my beads. I did not do that, but that is a little secret thing that skippers sometimes do, is they would leave their boots or something else to give something back to the jungle. My other little secret tidbit about the Jungle Cruise is one of my favorite things, and it was one that I got to see every single day when I would come into the Jungle Cruise, because it was hidden backstage as you were walking towards the break room. So everyone is aware that there are utilidors, the tunnels underneath Magic Kingdom's second floor. There's tunnels. That's how everyone's able to get from spot to spot very quickly without being in, the wrong costume in the wrong area. You don't want to see a Jungle Cruise skipper in Tomorrowland. Breaks the theming. Walt didn't want that. So there's the tunnels underneath, and it also makes it a lot faster to travel when you are just like straight line underneath. It's spokes, and you would go, you know, to wherever you needed to go, and there's signs everywhere down there. It's really easy to navigate, and it was very convenient. And I sometimes wish that I could use the utilidors when I'm there as a guest, but alas. But you would come out of the utilidors kind of behind where Crystal Palace is. That's like where I would come out, and then I would walk behind Crystal Palace and into the Jungle Cruise. They're very close together. You don't think they are, but they are. And kind of between where Crystal Palace is and where the Jungle Cruise was, there was a storage shed. Okay, follow me here. It was just a storage shed, but if you looked beside the storage shed, there was something strange on the ground. Something that does not look like it should be on the ground. It looks like it should be perhaps 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. There was a tentacle from the old 20,000 Leagues attraction that used to be in Fantasyland, where a lot of things are now. It's basically where all of New Fantasyland is. There was a tentacle from one of the giant squids, which are terrifying. If you haven't done like a POV, if you never got to ride the attraction, go watch a POV and see those giant squids. Not my favorite. But the tentacles, there was one laying just out in the open behind the Jungle Cruise out backstage, and I got to see it every day when I walked by. No, I do not have pictures of it. You're not allowed to take pictures backstage. I would like to be able to show it to you. Maybe there's something online somewhere where you can find it. That was one of my favorite little secret things that you really only get to see if you work at Disney. I don't know if it's still there. Any CMs who go in that area, is the tentacle still there? It wasn't covered up or anything, so like, I don't know that it would last very long in the elements, but it was there, and it was really cool to me. So that was one of my favorite little secret hidden things at the Jungle Cruise. So that's it. Those are a couple of my little secrets about the Jungle Cruise attraction, things that you would see if you were working there, and maybe not if you were just a guest. So I'm bringing you into the Jungle Cruise family here, letting you in on our little secrets. What is something that is secret about where you work that not everyone would know? It doesn't have to be like, you know, a hidden tentacle, but something that not everyone would know about your place of work unless you work there. Let me know down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.